I'm from Boston, and I was on the road for a long time with some blues guys, Luther Johnson and Near and George Mayweather. And I met my wife on a blues cruise. And on Valentine's Day, I got to her town on my tour, and I kissed her when I got off the stage. My life has never been the same. A year later, which happens to be Valentine's Day, I said that, we got married at the House of Blues. And then a year later, I moved out here, stopped being on the road. Now I just make little figurines and sell them with my art. She had some figurines from where she had visited, and I was going all over and playing, and so like if I was in Quebec, I'd find some little Quebec figurine. One time I was in Ireland, I found a little Irish figurine. I started bringing them to her from all over the world, but I started calling her on the phone all the time from the hotels and wasn't making any money. So, and I missed her so bad. We moved here, and now I make the figurines. Oh, they just grow a few at a time. Sometimes I put a lot of work into one of them. It takes, a couple of weeks before they come together. But then they're like standing there like this, and then I figure, well, what does he do? He either plays guitar, or they like to be musicians, but sometimes they get a broom or a paintbrush, whatever their face looks like they want to do, or whatever I happen to stick there, and they look so much happier once they have something to do. So it's all just to make my wife happy, that's all. They're starting to smile at me now, laugh at me. They're so happy to get created. It seems like, this is talking mystically, but I don't really feel that way. But I'll tell you, my brain is sure putting faces onto them. Kind of bring the life out of nothing to something. Your mind never forgets that it's a toilet paper roll. And so you stay amazed that way. And at least I know that it's what I imparted in it that makes you like it, instead of the fact that, wow, this was a $100 piece of paper or something. Painting something back here. You can see this is the real dirty work. I write poems here. There's gonna be a snake, in an apple tree or something. Someday he'll be a snake. There's a lot of stuff. Everything turns into some excuse. It's the hot dog tent on the little hot dog stand out there. Hey, let's go load up down at the big buffet. Big buffet. Everybody in town's at the big buffet. Big buffet. Ready to go around at the big buffet. Big buffet. $6. Since I was 5, I was playing piano for my mother. And anytime I saw somebody do something, I said, I can do that too, and I'd go home and do it by ear. Never did learn how to read music right. Find a seat at the big buffet. Big buffet. I don't know, I always I used to draw pictures on the road while I was learning words to songs, and try to copy a picture, the light and darks, just try to forget that I'm looking at a face and just looking at light and darks, and then I wasn't that good at drawing, and then one day I just said, heck, if I can't make a shadow, why don't I just make it by pulling the nose out of the paper? And then I started gluing the back of the paper, and then I started making faces out of mailing envelopes, and I used old free mailing envelopes I could get. Anything you have something that's free, and there's so much of it, and nobody's doing anything with it. We ought to be able to figure something out to do with it. And nothing freer than toilet paper rolls and old mailing envelopes and junk that you find in the recycle bin. I always hated throwing away, a cup or something after you drank out of it once. I knew that was insane. Ever since they started having plastic things, they stopped burning them at the dump, and then the dump started growing. I remember we used to take our stuff to the dump, but it was just paper products, and then they burn it at the end of the day. And then my father one day, he gave me a plastic straw, and I said, wow, this is cool, and I saved it for a long time. And then there was plastic straws everywhere, and then they stopped burning at the dump. Well, of course you can't burn it, it's got plastic in it, it'll stink up everything. And a lot of people save all their junk anyway. I guess I'm sort of like that, but instead I try to save it and sell it to you. Amy always wanted me to turn the corners of the mouth up a little more. Why don't you turn the corner of the mouth up a little more? And that was the trick to get them happy. And giving them something to do with their hands always makes them happy. They always like wonder, well, here I am, and I can go like this, or I can go like this, or I can go like this. And I want to get the bodies to look natural instead of like stiff. And same as the faces. The face is like a melody. Once you've seen it, you never forget it. And the body's like the harmony. It kind of builds around the face, and then the theme is like whatever it is you gave him to do, and the rhythm is like the balance that you create in the body once it's balanced and isn't falling over. Because I try to make them stand on their own 2 feet, and then it feels like they're my kids. We don't have kids, so these things, like, people love them. They take them home. I feel like I'm a hospital for unwanted toilet paper rolls. I like William Blake, and he loves the imagery and the symbolism and all that. I like making up my own characters entirely. So I like Hieronymus Bosch and with Red Grooms. I went to a show in Portland with Red Grooms. He makes things like this. And he even said he discovered the glue gun, and it changed his life. And then, because Amy's mom had given me a glue gun, and when I went to Portland and saw the Red Grooms thing, I went home and I finally got out the glue gun. I could make something stick instantly, and so that was it. I could keep creating it, building it. So then I would get like dryer lint to make hair, or fuzz from a paint roller, or bottle caps. I would take a piece of styrofoam, put it in the bottle cap, and squeeze it together, and then carve around it, and it was like an eyelid with little lashes from the bottle cap. And some of these have bottle. This is a bottle cap. That's a bottle cap. And then it's funny making things out of it. Then I realized you can make anything out of anything, as long as it's imaginary. I hate wasting stuff, and I hate wasting my own spirit. And then I wanted to, I want to share my spirit and Amy's spirit with the world. Amy, come on. She's the one she's the reason I make it. Look at her face, and now she's smiling, and then you'll know why I make my art.
Well, it makes everyone else smile. That's the important thing. He's had a lot of shows in retirement homes, things like that. And people just get big smiles on their face.
Because we're not really sure how to show it to people, but we sure love it when they see it.
Yeah.
Keep me satisfied.